What's good, y'all? So this is something a little different than I've done in the past. I mean, I usually just make comedy videos, but I'm a big music fan too, so I thought I'd give my take on the Drake-Kendrick beef. Who won, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, how I feel like each track did, etc., etc. So if we start off with Like That, I feel like That was not that crazy as far as like a diss. I feel like, now I will say this, I feel like it is fighting words. Like if you say this kind of stuff, it's time for beef. I feel like it was time for beef, but I still feel like Kendrick was in a place where he was basically, you know, on braggadocious, and he was trying to tell them, yo, like y'all saying this big three, it's just big me. You know, honestly, no, I take that back. I feel like it's more like, it's like the control verse. It's like, this is a challenge. This is a rap challenge, right? I don't feel like it was necessarily beef. I feel like it was a rap challenge, right? Okay, so now after that you get push-ups. Now, push-ups, that was a diss. Like, push-ups was a diss track. I mean, called him short. He said, I mean, you're not at my level. Travis is better than you. SZA's better than you. I mean, 21's better than you, which is insane. But I mean, you know, I love 21 too, you know. So that's my thing. It was one of those things where push-ups was a diss. Push-ups was addressing like, hey, this isn't really like friendly. This is like, I look down on you. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people might say it was still kind of in that same lane as Control, where it was a response to that. But I think Drake lumping in Metro Boomin, Future, Weekend, Rick Ross, I think him adding in all of those people made it more so a diss track as a whole. And it was like, now he was dissing, you know, Kendrick and all of them. Hold on, y'all. This camera's kind of tripping out. Okay, anyway. Now, so then we get Euphoria. Now, this is how I think about the disses so far. So, Like That was dope, but I won't give it a point because I don't feel like it was like a 1-and-1. I feel like the 1-and-1 was Push-Ups was one, and then it was Euphoria. Those are the two I put together because Like That jumped it off, but I don't think you could compare Like That and Push-Ups because Like That was just the Control verse. So I would say I like Push-Ups beat. I know a lot of people were like, this beat's trash, but I thought it was fire, me personally. Euphoria, but I have to give the win to Euphoria because I feel like Euphoria really touched on Kendrick's angle was the truth. It was like, yo, this isn't about nothing that I had to dig for. There's nothing that I had to find out. This was more so how I feel about Drake. This is me watching Drake for years and saying, yo, Drake, I noticed this about you, I noticed that about you, and I really don't like you because of all the things that you represent, all the things that you've done up until this point. That's why I feel like Euphoria was a tougher diss than Push-Ups. Also, Push-Ups, Drake was just divided. Like, I know, like, I agree with Drake. It was a 20v1 where it was like, okay, I gotta diss all these people. So I think his attention throughout this beef was divided, you know, and I don't think it was really a one-on-one throughout this beef. I think he did like sting and punch at Kendrick a lot throughout this, but I think it wasn't really a one-on-one a lot of times from Drake's perspective. So then after that, you get 616 in LA, I think. Look, I'm going off the dome, so correct me in the comments, you know, which I think was great, back-to-back, a great tactic because he had mentioned that in Euphoria that he was going back-to-back, which then he came with 616. 616, I feel like, was a fire follow-up. I think it was great as far as like introducing a lot of the other aspects, a lot of the other like digging that he's done. And I think, yeah, that was a tough thing for Drake because Drake got back-to-back. Like, you know, he did to Meek Mill. And then he was oh, wait, I missed one. Hold on. Let me see. I missed one. Let me go back. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, I'm sorry. I missed one, y'all. Don't hate me. The Tupac Snoop one Taylor Made freestyle. Okay, excuse me, y'all. So Drake did a back-to-back first on Kendrick because he was like, yo, push-ups, and then I'm gonna give you back-to-back on Taylor Made freestyle. Now, Taylor Made freestyle, I gave Drake was winning at that point because he went back-to-back on Kendrick. Then, so with Taylor Made, I feel like with the AI thing, I thought it was cool. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people didn't like it, but I thought it was an interesting, I like the perspective. I like the angle on it where it was like, you're letting down your heroes. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was very, very smart of Drake. I thought that was a cool angle because Kendrick has always talked about his pride in Compton and representing LA and things like that. So I think that was a great angle. So at that point, I think Drake was winning. Then it started to inch more towards Kendrick when he did Euphoria and then went back to back with 616. I think that made it balanced for me. I think in terms of the whole beef, I think it was balanced at that point. Not necessarily just track for track. I think it was just more balanced at that point. So then after that, you get Family Matters. Now, let me tell you this. Family Matters, at first, I'm not gonna lie, for a little bit, I had a little bias in there for Kendrick because I love Kendrick, but I love Drake too. Don't get it twisted. That's my boy. That's the boy. So my thing was, I was inching towards Kendrick. I was inching towards Kendrick after 616 and Euphoria because I feel like those were some great tracks, especially Euphoria. The beat switches, everything. Great, man. So when you get back to Drake, Family Matters, I was like, Family Matters, I don't really know. I kind of missed the track because of Kendrick dropping Meet the Graham. So I didn't even get a chance to listen to Family Matters before Meet the Grahams came out. I missed it and then Meet the Grahams, so I listened to Meet the Grahams. I said, oh, so it made me not want to go back to Family Matters, but I was like, nah, man, because I'm not biased. I'm in the middle. So once I went back to Family Matters, hey, that was tough. Family Matters, I feel like, was a fire track. Like, Family Matters brought up a lot of stuff that was like, the Day Free thing was tough. The beating the wife thing was tough. I was like, I don't know. So at that moment, I had Drake winning. Like, I was like, Drake, Family Matters, hey, sorry, Kendrick. Family Matters was tough, right? Now, Meet the Grahams. It's funny because when I listened to Meet the Grahams, I was on my way home. We had a party with some of my friends, and so it was late. It was maybe like 1 a.m. So I was driving home and I was like, oh man, Kendrick came out with Meet the Grahams, right? And like I said, this was before Family Matters. So as I was driving home, I listened to Meet the Grahams, and low key, I was scared on the road. Like, I was driving like he was dissing me. Like, it was so haunting. Like, the way he was telling the story, that ding, ding, ding. Like, bruh, that track was like very haunting, very like Kendrick-esque, but like, you know, like You. Like, if y'all heard the song You by Kendrick, it put you in that vibe where it was like, oh, this is like a villain, really. And so, like, after I heard that, plus the late drive home, I was like, this is scary, Drake. I know you talk about scary hours, but bruh, hey, so that's why I had Kendrick winning. So when I heard Family Matters after that, I feel I still had Kendrick beating Drake at that point, because although Family Matters was fire, I would say Kendrick had the inch over Drake just a little bit. Like, I was like, okay, he's got Kendrick a little, Kendrick has Drake a little bit with Meet the Grahams because of the haunting, because of the atmosphere he set. I feel like with Family Matters was fire as well. I just feel like Drake was in the same like vibe throughout the beef. Like, it was like talking to him like serious, but also like a party vibe. Like, you know, Drake does what Drake does. And I feel like Kendrick was able to switch and move lanes and show you, okay, I do this, I do that, I do this. And so I think that's why I had Kendrick beating Drake at that point. So then we moved to Not Like Us, and bruh, I was never, I'll tell you this, in the beef, I was never a person that was like, yo, he got him out of here, like he killed him, like it's over, like you're destroyed. I never really had that. Even with Not Like Us, it was a huge dagger. Like I feel like, ooh, that was like Not Like Us, man. You was vibing to it. And he took Drake's lane where he was like, okay, like I've been talking serious, but I could do the party songs too. Even how he, you know, he was like, step this way, step that way. Like he was showing Drake like, hey Drake, I could have fun too. You know what I mean? The A minor bar. And then even Meet the Grams talking about relating him to P. Diddy, like the kid stuff. It was tough. I think Kendrick's angles were stronger than Drake's. And Drake had some moments in there where he kind of like took some L's, where he had some certain things that he was saying. It'd be like, you know, about, you know, you trying to free the slaves. And it was like, wait, are we the slaves, Drake? Kind of tough. And then, you know, about the whole like, man, if I was, you know, doing all this bad stuff that you claim, then wouldn't I be arrested by now? And it was like, Drake, I don't know, because if you think about it, a lot of people don't get arrested. It took years for P. Diddy. Like, it was just things where it was like you could take it from him. Now, so after that, then we finally get, what is the name of the last track? The Heart Part 6. The Heart Part 6, I had to listen to it a few times, and something that I discovered on Twitter, I saw it on Twitter, that we missed when everybody was saying, man, you misquoted the his song, you know, the Mother I, you know, Sober. And a lot of people were like, yo, you know, you didn't even know what the song was about, Drake. And I read a post on Twitter where a guy was talking about, in the song, Kendrick was talking about how his mother, that was one of the things that was affecting Kendrick, is his mother kept saying that he got touched, you know, by his uncle. And he was saying, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. And she was like, yes, you did. Like, it's okay, blah, blah, blah. So basically, it was like gaslighting him to say that because she went through that. So she was trying to put that on Kendrick. And Kendrick was like, nah, like, that's not what happened. And so he was saying, Drake knew what the song was about. What he was doing was he was bringing up that past trauma, and he was gaslighting Kendrick too, and saying, oh, no, you did get touched, just like his no, not his mom, his aunt. I'm sorry, let me get my facts straight. I think it was his aunt, or was his mom or his aunt, one or the other. I'm sorry, y'all, I don't have nothing in front of me, I'm just going off of my brain. But Drake was going from the angle of like, I'm gaslighting you too. Oh, just admit it, Kendrick. Like, you did get touched, blah, blah, blah. So people were thinking he was doing it wrong because it was like, no, it wasn't about Kendrick. But no, he was going from the angle that was really affecting Kendrick, which was the, yo, you don't want to admit it, but it's okay, Kendrick. I know you got touched and stuff. That's why you're putting that on me, blah, blah, blah. So tough angle. The Day Free thing again, the mixed kids, like, it was, Drake had some good angles, Kendrick had some good angles. So overall, who do I think won the beef? I would say this. I feel like the fans. Now I'm just playing. No, really, the fans and the police. Now, okay, whatever, let me be serious. Okay, so I feel like, for me, I feel like Kendrick won, but I don't think he destroyed Drake. I feel like they're both gonna still make tracks. I feel like the next albums they come up with, you know, we're all gonna listen to them, we're all gonna tune in. But I will say this too, I feel like it's not over either. I feel like they're not gonna stop dissing each other. I don't think they're gonna be in a place where it's like, okay, like, let's do an album together, you know, let's do a track together. I think they're in a place, or I'd be surprised, but I really think they're in a place where it's like, okay, we're gonna keep sneaky dissing. We don't like each other. Like, yeah, this battle is over. Like, I think this battle is over, but I think it's still a war going on between the two. So yeah, that's my take. I give it to Kendrick for now, but I don't think it's over. I think they're gonna keep dissing each other. I will say this: my main takeaways from this beef is Drake. I've seen some videos, man, and you know, this is my thing about what the girl said about I was 17, but you know, it's not a big deal. Blah blah blah. This was always my thing, and I talked to my friends about it. I was saying, look, I understand, Drake, that she's like, it was cool, you know, it was a concert, blah, blah, blah. But once, if you didn't know, cool. You didn't know at first, you were grabbing her, you know, serenading her, singing to her, cool. Once you found out she was 17, that should have been it. That should have been, all right, I ain't saying nothing else. Whoa, all right, you gotta go. You too young. You know, yes, other part of the country, that may be fine, but we're in the U.S., y'all. We in the U.S. So that was my only take on that. Kendrick, if you have been abusing your wife, hey, bruh, that ain't the move, bruh. You can't do that. Also, if one of your kids is Dave Freeze, it's a complicated thing because if we look at the Russell Westbrook situation, not Russell Westbrook, what am I talking about? Russell Wilson, and we look at Sierra's situation, I mean, he's taking care of Future's kids. So it's one of those things where a lot of people would see that as honorable depending on the situation. If she cheated on him no, that's not honorable, bruh. That's crazy. I mean, it's still respectable for you to take care of the kid. I respect it. I couldn't do it, but I respect it. But yeah, if it's a thing where they were together for a bit, she had a kid, and you're taking care of the kids, and it's a family thing where y'all are all cool, then I respect it, and most people will respect that. But I'm rapping at this point. But yeah, that's my thing. I think Kendrick won their battle. I think it's not over yet. Drake still has some fire. Also, other artists were like, please, we want to make music too. So they had to end this beef because nobody was gonna really, I think, check out other artists. They were kind of like, we're locked into the Drake Kendrick beef. So that's my thing. My thoughts on J. Cole, that could be another video if y'all want that video. But yeah, that's it. Deuces.